Hi friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. I'm here today to talk about two very cool strollers. So over here, I am pleased to say I have the new Stokke Xplory X. So it's the brand new version of this product. Over here on this side, I've got the MIMA Xari, which is a fan favorite, tried, tested, true, been around for quite a while. So we're gonna get into some of the differences and some of the similarities for you. The biggest difference between these two products is gonna be opening price point and what they come with. So the Xplory is gonna be a $9.99 price point. It is newborn compatible from birth. So there's an infant insert in here. It does look to be somewhat, I think, fully redesigned for this year. It's very nice and padded, but this would be the piece that you would have in there to put a newborn in. With the MIMA, you get a bassinet. So this is included in the cost. And the thing about their bassinet is actually gonna be the piece that we're going to turn into the seat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, just to kind of illustrate, one, how easy it is, but also to show there's frequently confusion when people buy these products. With this one, especially for the price point, so you're at closer to $14.99 for this guy, you're going to have to do a little bit of work to make it from a bassinet into a stroller seat. So you can collapse the bassinet relatively easily. It will come with a stroller seat included in the cost. I have mine already set up perfectly for this video and also for demonstrating to customers. And one thing I think is kind of neat is you can always store your component pieces directly within themselves, so that's kind of nice. So I have my bassinet mattress in there. Now I'm going to take my canopy, which has fallen off, and I'll have the seat parent face, just because it makes putting the canopy on significantly simpler. But see, these are the type of things that you can encounter when you do a switch over like this. There we go. All right, now we're all set. And again, it's nothing to fret about. It's just more stuff to think about and keep in mind when you're making a $1,500 purchase. Some people would like the carry cot to be a fully separate thing. So I think it's important for people to see that it is included in the cost, but it's definitely sort of a magic trick turning it from one to the other. So now that we've successfully done that, I think you can see the stroller seats actually look relatively similar, but there are some key differences in terms of practicality for Stokke that you don't get with MIMA. So when I sit this upright, you'll notice the footrest is just the way it is, and you can have a view at the size of the seat itself. With the Xplory, when I sit it up, which is this piece here, it sits quite upright, but we get things like an adjustable footrest. So we'll have more space for the child. And additionally, the seat pieces that come out, when this newborn insert removes, the seat's actually pretty darn deep, which you can see here. Definitely a nice deep seat, also wide for a bigger body. And then when we're ready to turn our kids around, they'd probably encourage you to fully remove this bottom bar. Sometimes you can sneak it around. I did not successfully in that case. That's all right. So that's moving it around, and forward facing, you do have a recline position, which is nice. Before I put this on, what I want to touch on here, this is the really big event about the Xplory 10. This is their new basket. So the biggest criticism of this product was that the basket was not functional, not usable, weird looking, and generally Americans were not into it. Didn't seem to stop the global market from appreciating the product. However, this new basket has a cover, which is very nice, and defined spaces in it. So as you can tell, it's not like the basket of old where you pulled the drawstring and it felt more like a sack. This is definitely a defined space to keep different items, and I think it feels more accommodating spatially because it has a better opening. So I definitely give them credit for that. I love what it appears to me to be is a backpack essentially that you can open fully. It's quite nice. Line that up, and the seat goes back. Now with MIMA, our baskets are pretty limited. We have a back basket which has the rain cover in it, which is included in the cost, and then a drawstring topping bag. So you could theoretically put a fair amount in there. I just don't know how it would all stay together super nicely. And then you get an additional little front trunk, sort of like Tesla. So you get some cool features there as far as that goes. I wouldn't say it's as practical as what you have on the Xplory. Both products weigh 29.5 pounds, so 30 pounds for either stroller. I will fold them both to show that. Both of them don't have a great fold, but they do fold up. And I will point out the canopy here is way more functional. This is a hard canopy, which is great. Stokke, on the other hand, utilizes a fabric canopy. They're advertising this new material is more breathable, more washable. The name for it is like Bionic Finished Eco, which it sounds like the Bionic Man, but regardless, it's pretty cool, easy to clean, easy to do all this stuff with. I'm just looking for the zippers, so well disguised. Here we go. The longer sun canopy. So right there, I think this is a huge added value. And considering this is again $9.99 versus about $1,500, it's a pretty strong feature that it has the better sun canopy. You also have the option for ventilation with this canopy, and that's what the silver zipper on the front is here. 2 zippers using the, if I open this up, you can see in here, you'll be able to have a mesh vent, which is really, really nice for the child. So this is definitely a more breathable seat with better sun canopy. So for those reasons alone, being that I am in California, I think that this product makes a little bit more sense. So I like that. I would point out too, if I hadn't before, you can purchase a carry cot separately for this for $249. So if you wanted it to have a bassinet, you could. But again, from a practicality standpoint, I like that it comes with everything. The other thing about Stokke that's definitely going to be more practical is that your handle, and it's the only one that does this that I'm aware of, has 2 types of adjustments. So it's telescoping, but it's also pivoting. Telescoping means that this piece moves up and down. I've had some customers that were little, and it would have been nice for them to have the option to have the seat set up for baby incredibly low. And again, this is probably not going to be something that most people need, but for somebody who is looking that may have this issue, it's cool to know that it's one of the better choices. If you are smaller, to be able to see over and still be able to push. MIMA, you can lower the handle that is still significantly higher. And when I lower the seat down, also, does that lock? I don't think that locks. Yeah, so that's not even a true low position. I'd say that's your lowest position, and that is a huge difference between the 2 products. Additionally, the seat is significantly higher on the MIMA in its lowest position than what you get here. I'll flip it around just so it's apples to apples, but it should be pretty clear. So both seats are low, but this handle height is better, and the adjustability of the pivot on it is definitely a nice feature. They both will fold largely. I don't know how else to say that. Neither one has a compact fold. So I think when you're going for a look at me kind of product, which is this type of stroller, I don't think you also are asking it to have a small fold. The MIMA's fold is maybe more straightforward. So you remove the seat, and then there's triggers on the handle. You would probably put this seat down, but I'm just thinking theoretically how you lift up both. So that's sort of what that looks like. Pretty easy to open. There is a lock on it, I just didn't engage it. but that is this plastic piece right here. So if you fold it more successfully, it will latch together. On the Stokke, and again, both of these products, yes, you have to turn the seat around to be forward facing in order to fold it. Although I shouldn't have to move the height of this. I will, however, move the height of this down, pivot that in. Well, first I should tug on the knob, but first you have to engage the little button that's on it, and then you give it a tug, and as you can see, it'll collapse. You can roll it someplace if it needs to go somewhere, which is kind of cool. And that's going to be your fold on this guy. You can make it even smaller if you're willing to remove the seat and kind of stack it. But again, your call completely on what fits in your vehicle. And to open it, it's re-engaging that knob, which once you do it successfully 1 or 2 times, you do get a sense of what you're supposed to be doing. So as far as how high up they sit, my suspicion is that they should be at around the same tallest height, but let's set them up to see. Put that down. That adjustment is significantly easier with the seat off. Just my tip. Side to scoot it up. Very easy. Neither one you'd want to really adjust with a child sitting in it. It would just be too heavy to move the seat plus the kid. And I'm sure they don't recommend it. But one weird difference that we did discover was that Stokke holds a child up to 48.5 pounds, whereas this guy says 37.5. So if I'm paying more, what am I getting? You do get more color choices. You get way more customization and color choices here than you get with this guy. This guy's gonna come in 5 colors, new colors for this year. Black, I know they have a yellow, gray. Anyway, that's sort of the difference between the two, and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you've got other questions, or leave questions below, and we're happy to answer them.